Hey there everybody, welcome to Trial Gaming. I'm Bomb. For today we are with the very first episode, Yu-Gi-Oh! Legendary Duelist Showdown. We have a very special guest duelist that I will let introduce themselves.
What's up guys, RPK Gaming here, the big bad pack rippin' daddy, and I am here to get my game on.
See, now it makes you want to have to land on the GX reel, doesn't it?
I've been hyping it up this entire time, man. I don't know, I've been on like a GX kick, and I am ready to play some heroes, really awful Cyber Dragon deck, depending on what year we get.
Well, if it does land on the guest showdown, you get to decide anything, which can be brutal. Beautiful. Because at the end of it, you could always be like, yeah, I'm going to choose Jaden, and it's all going to be hero stuff, and we're going to use the current ban list. You'd be like, oh yeah, and you get Cyrus. Here's some roids. Not even the good speed roids. Here's some bad roids. The
fabled duel of Weevil Underwood versus Zane Truesdale.
Watch it be like, oh yeah, if you're Weevil, you have to summon perfectly ultimate Great Moth. Cool. What does Zane have to do? Come here, attack. No, wait, hold on. Please. Stop.
Summon a Cyber Dragon.
You must summon a Cyber Dragon. Every card literally says it counts as Cyber Dragon. Like, oh. Right. Unless you somehow brick beyond all comparison.
Hey man, I'm a Cyber Dragon duelist. Let me tell you, sometimes you do brick.
See, with me, I missed such a huge period after... Exceeds were just being introduced in Japan when I left. It was like right before they came here, and I still, like, when I came back, I didn't know the American changed the name because they were actually XYZ.
Yeah.
In Japan, and so when it comes up, I was like, oh, XYZ, and it's like, wait, why is it spelling so weird? I'm like,
yep.
But
yeah, I took a break from the game right after GX, so I missed synchros, got back into the game when Xyz were like really coming out here, and then left the game again when Pendulums came out, because I looked at them and I was like, alright, I don't know what to do about this, I'm just gonna not play anymore. See, and then came back around, I think it was Soul Fusion just came out. And I was like, alright, screw it, I guess I'm going to learn Links. Because I figured, well, Pendulums were just ridiculous, so Links are probably going to be the same way. And nope, they're actually super easy.
See, with me, when I left when I knew Xyz were coming, and I thought they were a cool mechanic, but I'm in Washington State, and the Magic was like, Magic Gathering was introducing some of the old stuff back. This is when they were bringing back a lot of the old kind of sets for their first rehashes. And I was like, oh, that reminds me when I played Magic. And so I really was focused on that for about 3 or 4 years. And when I did look back towards playing Yu-Gi-Oh, I did have one point where I was thinking about coming back. And I saw pens. And I was like, and I read the new master rule that came with it. And I was just like, I'm sorry, what happened to all the fun stuff that they removed?
Yeah.
And I avoided it. And then I was going to get back in 2019. And then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And so I did get back into it, but it was really tough to find anything. It wasn't until really 2020, but yeah, I came back, and it was... Links were something I thought were a very cool idea. I just didn't like how generic a lot of them are. Like, I think that's my biggest flaw with them, is while I do like them, I kind of wish all of them had some sort of restriction.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, the first few that came out where they just kind of seemed like rehashes of... you know, like Milos Radiant and Hippo Shinigami and stuff like that. It's like, okay, these kind of make sense to be like a Link monster and to open up a zone or something. But then you start getting stuff like Boral Sword and, you know, like Appaloosa and stuff that was just super generic. And even like Firewall was so generic at the time, and Topologic Gumblar, that just kind of diluted Links and made them like delinquent. I mean, it just kind of ran the game rampant, and then you had stuff like FTKs with Gumblar, or, you know, destroying your opponent's hand, and it just got to be too much. It's like if you just reworded that stuff to be only for like rockets or firewall to only be for cybers. It would have been a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and even ones where you would think based on their name would make, like, the one card I think brings to mind that bothers me the most is when I came back to the game, I was looking at all these decks and I was like, oh, Dragon Link, all this. I was like, okay, a lot of those make sense, But
Right.
and then I was looking at something and I was remembering a lot of the old stuff I used to play. I would play, Black Wings, et cetera, et cetera. And I stopped and I was like, oh my God, Union Carrier. And I'm like, oh, Union Hanger. New Union support? Is Union good? And I looked, I was like, oh, this is all generic. And then I was like, oh, okay, well, they have new, new cards in ABC. And I was looking at ABC. I was like, oh, this has almost nothing to do with the other XYZ,
Yeah.
W and Y Dragon stuff. It's like the stuff. I was like, why does that have nothing to do with them? Why are they so disconnected? And it bummed me out because I thought they actually maybe a fixed Union, and instead it was make certain Union cards generic, and then ABC was its own thing, and it completely. Because I actually was almost excited when I saw ABC like that. They would continue to, like, maybe they'd be like a DEF, and then there would be some connection formed between the X, Y, and, like, I thought, oh, that could be cool. And then nothing. And I was like, oh.
A little lackluster.
Yeah, it was like, because I remember when Unions came out, they were a cool concept. And I remember trying to make them work, but a lot of the time they were just...
Yeah, right.
There was a cool mechanic. It's like the level up mechanic. I loved level up cards. Like, to be honest, when it came down to it, when I first opened, what was it?
I think Soul the Duelist. Yeah.
I remember opening. I went to a locals and I ended up winning like third place. I was a kid, whatever, but it was cool, and I got a bunch of packs. And, everyone was opening from this box, and the owner says, oh, yeah, there's still an ulti left in play. And I'm opening, and I get, a rare horse level 4. I was like, oh, cool. And I pulled level 6.
Oh, baby.
And I was just thinking, oh, I have to build this deck. And with such powerful cards, you would think, yes, it'd work. But then... as the levels came up more and more in the future, I was like, these are just bad. Like, horse is cool as a standalone, and you had some other levels that could show potential. But then when I came back to the game and I saw unions, I thought, oh, they must have done something for the level mechanic. Oh, okay, never mind. Since I left,
few years too early.
Yeah. And it was just like, wow, that's sad. But no, it's like, I know they're recycling older archetypes and recycling stuff and bringing stuff back, which is cool. But there's so many cool archetypes. I feel like they're completely just forgetting. And it was kind of a bummer to see them, one, just give constant love to generic dragon love.
Right, yeah.
When I was
tends to be their go-to.
And I was sitting here, I was like, okay, that's cool. Where's the support for the other stuff I ran back in the day? And it's like, nope. I will say one thing when I came back that I did absolutely love, though, was when I came back, obviously Dragon Link was meta. And then really quickly, I played, like, I was one of those old school players who really tried to run Ruin and all that stuff with back in the day, playing that old ritual style. And so when Drytron came out, it made me so happy to see rituals. And now it's like fusions are, I mean, I run Branded Despia. I mean, I'm happy about that. I love seeing fusions and seeing rituals come back, although be it for short periods. Because the ban list pretty much quickly took care of them, but
right,
it was
I actually got a branded Despia deck as well and a branded Eldritch, so
yeah, I
definitely feel you there.
I was definitely feeling Predaplant too, because I was one of those guys back in the day who tried to run Titanial Plant. So when I saw the Predaplant stuff, I was like, oh,
During like major like heat of the moment lockdown, I made it was a Layer of Darkness Danger Predaplant deck, and I enjoyed the hell out of it.
That actually sounds like a fun concoction. I think my biggest project I'm happy about is my GOAT era deck that I'm slowly working to max rarity. There are just
That's the way to do it.
There's some max rarities though that are just a little too And then there are some rarities that I prefer. Like for one, I know a lot of people, for my branded Despia, I don't like Fallen at Alba's Secret. I like the Tin Ultra. I think the Ultra is so clean.
The Ultra does look good. I'm definitely going to try and it's my branded Eldritch that I've been trying to max rarity, so I'm probably going to go for the at least 2 alties of Albaz for that deck.
Yeah, there's a few cards where it's like, I love Ultimate Rares were awesome. I love Ghost Rares, and I'm so bummed by some of the cards that they're making Ghost right now and how far they've fallen. Like, back when I played, like, if you pulled a Ghost, it was hundreds of dollars. Ghost Stardust, Ghost Black Rose,
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh yeah, here's a Ghost Ayatamias. It's $30, and I'm just like, what have you done to my favorite rarity? Stop, please.
Yeah, right. No, it's crazy. That and Ghost Rares and what are they called? Collector's Rares. Yeah. I mean, there's some that are like $12. It's like, wow, that's a way to really dilute a rarity.
Yeah. See, with collectors, I don't mind so much if they're cards that are playable that you need more one of. Like if someone's running some sort of weird deck that needs trade-in, having an ulti trade-in that isn't, I mean, that's a bad example because that one I think is like $60. I think I gave one away on my channel like I think a month ago, and it was about 60 or 70. So that's probably not a good example of cheap, but it's like some ultis, it's like I think it's cool for like ultimate rares, some of them being cheaper stuff. It's just Ghost Rare has always been one of those things where there's always been cheap ultimates. And and then with the collectors, they're a newer style, and so that doesn't bother me as much. It's like Ghost was something that was kind of sacred. Like I've seen people pull multiple ultimates out of the same box or stuff back in the day. But Ghost, I've never seen anyone pull more than one out of like a case.
Yeah, right.
So it was like I don't know, for me, Ghosts were always more sacred. I liked how Ultimates looked, but Ghosts were more sacred. And to see that fall has always been a tough thing to handle.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely understandable.
But I feel like we have rambled on about Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, right.
It's like, okay, at this point, this is a podcast. We'll record the actual episode some other time. Honestly, though, it's like, this is what Yu-Gi-Oh! Is about, though. You talk, and you kind of just let your love of the game take you.
Absolutely.
But we do have to switch to that reel. So...
all right, let's do it.
Let's switch.
Let's see what we get.
All right, guys. So as you can see, we have the base Showdown reel here. Now, when it comes down to it, the reel, pretty much 4 options here. You have the viewer showdown, in which case the people who commented in episode 0, their top comment, would decide what it goes. I actually believe the top comment was an old school Yugi versus Kaiba duel, which isn't bad. You would assume that would be the one most people would go to, though.
Boy.
And then you have guest showdown, which I'm pretty sure is going to be some GX filled shenanigans.
True, it's true.
Random showdown, funny enough, is completely random up to multiple other reels, and we'll explain that as we get into that, if that is fun. And then the Patreon showdown, funny enough, I actually got some new members actually joined Patreon, which is awesome because I didn't have anyone before, but that was all after the video was live. So I actually think for the Patreon showdown, if it lands on there, I will choose, just to keep it interesting. And then in the future, obviously, Patreon people will decide that. So let's spin. Let's give it quite a few spins. Real question is, what will it land on?
Oh, boy.
Oh, it's a viewer showdown.
Viewer showdown.
All right, guys. So looking at it, Smog UKA was the top comment. They chose Yami-Yugi Atem versus Kaiba. Unfortunately, Smog did not state who got who, so we decided. I am going to be Atem, and I'm going to wear full Egyptian gold. That's not going to cost me back any. No, just kidding. No cosplaying.
Damn.
I mean, you could rock the coat if you want to rock the coat.
I mean, by all means, man. I've got the money. I've got the Blue Eyes jet. I might as well wear the coat.
But because of this, so I will take Yami-Yugi. RBK will take Kaiba. And the mandatory cards for me are the Dark Magician. For you, it's Blue Eyes White Dragon. And of course, we are using up to December 2002. Which, interesting enough, does have a ban list. And only goes up to the McDonald's promotional cards, which means Millennium Shield maybe. When it comes down to it, I actually think, guys, will be interesting. I know when it comes down to it, RPK is probably already thinking about a dozen ideas for Kaiba. For me, I'm trying to think, how stupid am I to try to force Exodia into my deck? I don't know. But honestly, I will make a separate video here in a moment that will go over what ban lists and what sets are legal, as well as my deck profile once the deck is built. This is old school, bare bones Yu-Gi-Oh! At its greatest, and it'll probably be monster beatdown. But guys,
100%.
Yeah, 100%. But stay tuned, because next we will show both deck profiles, and then we'll get to the duel. Be right back, guys. All right, guys. So honestly, when it comes down to it, I called it a forbidden list. It was technically only a limited and semi-limited list. The 2002 Forbidden Limited List was the fourth Forbidden Limited List in this TCG, going into effect December 1st, 2002. This list did have some changes, but as you can read here, guys, Pharaoh Servant, Tournament Pack, 2nd Edition, and, well, but none of the cards were hit from them, the McDonald's promo cards were what were added since the previous list. So the full list is limited: Cyberjar, Exodia the Forbidden One, Jinzo, the left arm, left leg, right arm, and right leg of the Forbidden One, Morphing Jar, and Witch of the Black Forest. The magic/spell cards were Card Destruction, Change of Heart, Confiscation, Dark Hole, Delinquent Duo, Limited Removal, Monster Reborn, Painful Choice, Pot of Greed, Premature Burial, Raigeki, Snatch Steal, Sword of Revealing Light, Forceful Sentry, and Upstart Goblin. A lot of good cards limited to one. For trap cards, there were Call of the Haunted, Ceasefire, Imperial Order, and Mirror Force were the other limits. At semi-limit, Morphing Jar number 2, Sangan, which actually plays a part in my deck, Heavy Storm, Nobleman the Crossout, and Backup Soldier. Those were the semi-limits. This was the 2002 semi-limited/limit list. No cards were forbidden yet, and actually, it's interesting because there are quite a few cards that are seen here that were used in the anime by a lot of people. Nice to see them limited. Pot of Greed, Monster Born, etc., etc. Also, I know Kaiba does have access to Delinquent Duo. I do not. So that limited to one means it will hopefully be harder for him to use. Other cards I know he has access to that I don't, I believe, are Nobleman a Crossout, as well as I think there was another card he has access to here that I don't. But honestly, guys, when it comes down to it, I'm super excited. Now let's get to the deck profiles. I have taken over the mantle of Yami-Yugi, aka Atem, for this episode. Now, I wanted to try to steer clear of any cards Yugi used when he wasn't using the Pharaoh's power. I also wanted to make sure that outside of starter deck Yugi, that I didn't use any cards that wasn't used in the anime. So this is the deck I came up with. Now, I double checked, any card that was not in starter deck Yugi has been used in the anime. So we have one Cyberjar, one Kuribo, I had to include the little fuzzball, triple Magician of Fate. Now, actually, interesting enough, Taya does lend Yugi this card for one period, which is useful, which allows us to use it. A Man-Eater Bug, triple Man-Eater Bug, one Morphing Jar, double Sangan. Sangan is used by Yugi. Triple Wall of Illusion. Again, some of these are starter deck cards, but still they'll count. The one Dark Magician that we have to summon, otherwise we pretty much forfeit the match, which I do have a couple ways to get to it. Neo the Magic Swordsman, triple that. That's our best kind of, it was starter deck Yugi, but to be honest, every other card Yugi used was lower attack. This is the best card we actually have access to. The one Summon Skull, the one Change of Heart, the one Dark Hole, triple Fissure. Interesting enough, I'm glad we have Fissure, because I think it'd be difficult otherwise. Triple Last Will. Now, this thing isn't limited, semi-limited, or anything on the ban list at this point, and it's such a good card that I had to use it. Not to mention with the number of cards we have that are low attack that we can easily throw out a Sangan or something and watch it get destroyed. Or when we tribute, for instance, if they bounce into Wall of Illusion, bounce back, well, we can tribute it for Summon Skull. This gives us access to stuff that, honestly, I could not resist playing all three. The One Monster Reborn, triple MST. I love that Yugi ended up using this card. That gives us access to such a powerful spell trap removal in a quick effect form. We have 1 Pot of Greed, 1 Soul Exchange, 1 Swords of Revealing Light. This is limited now. I wish I could have played more. 1 Magical Hats. This actually has some utility. For instance, it allows us to choose 2 spell and traps that are for duds, or if we need to get to quicker. Because we're running Triple Magician of Fate, I thought that because we have such a strong spell lineup, if we need to Magical Hats to protect Magician of Fate, we can, or on any other of the other cards, we can easily put something we may need to grab with Magician of Fate, like Fissure or MST or something, and this allows us to do this. Then we go Mirror Force, the 1 Spellbinding Circle, again I kind of had to, and Triple Trap Hole, such a powerful card we had to run it. To the side, 1 Catapult Turtle just to be funny. Just in case we need to go more monster heavy, we have Triple Giant Soul Stone, Triple Mystical Elf, we can just pick our poison there. 2 more Summon Skulls, and my thought of this is if we do rotate these other 2 Soul Exchange in, we can go for like a heavy tribute strategy to try to control the board through Summon Skull. 2 more Magical Hats just in case that strategy works, we can put more in. And Spellbinding Circle in case Magical Hats, or we need to take out Last Will and we need more stun stuff to stun, we have these options. And extra deck, we can't summon them, but Guy the Dragon Champion and Black Skull Dragon, Beast Skull Dragon, is both legal at this point, so I thought I'd include them in there. But yeah, guys, honestly, this is the deck we're using to represent Yami. I feel like it is pretty strong. Especially our spell trap lineup. Lots of removal interaction. I know he's going to be playing, stuff to try to get Blue Eyes as quick as possible. And you'll know that's Flute and Lord of D. So my theory is Trap Hole Fissure. Just try to. He probably will get a Blue Eyes out eventually. Us getting out Dark Magician is kind of a side note. If we do end up summoning the Dark Magician once, we're still going to keep him in the deck just because this is a Yami deck. But at the end of the day, our goal is to try to control the board, I think, through all of our spell and traps, and hopefully pick up an easy dub with all the strong effect monsters we have as well as spell and traps. He has the bigger beaters. He has Axe Raider. He has, La Jin. He has some big things that we really can't beat over. But our Wall of Illusion, our Neo are kind of our best bets, and then we have a strong lineup of monster effects that can keep us in there. And if we can get Summon Skull out or Dark Magician, we can control the board, trying to prevent that Lord of D from getting the Blue Eyes White Dragon out. I am worried about Morphing Jar, mainly discarding Blue Eyes and him just Monster Reborning it. But again, we could do that with our Dark Magician, as well as I think we have the better spell trap lineup when it comes to stalling and removal. And if anything doesn't work out for us, these Last Wills can always be popped out for like the Soul Exchange, Magical Hats, or of course another set of Spellbinding Circles. We'll just have to see, guys. But this is the deck list I'm going to be running. Honestly, it was tough to really narrow down what I could and couldn't use with Yami, just because some of his cards really do overlap with Yugi, but there are instances where Yugi, Yugimoto, uses cards that Yami did not. There's instances where Yami did only played things, and there's instances where Yugi only played things, and I tried to keep the two separate because it was specifically Yami Yugi / a 10. So this is the deck, guys. Hopefully you like it.
What's up, guys? RPK Gaming here with my December 2002 Kaiba deck. So right off the bat, you can already see we have 3 wonderful, beautiful Blue Eyes White Dragons in the deck, just to really show our superiority, our Kaiba complex in this match against the Yugi deck from 2002 as well. So of course we have to run the 3 bricks with 2 Lord of D, Down here you see we do have the Flute Summoning Dragon, help kind of spam him out a little bit quicker. And with that, we have 2 Komori Dragon to, kind of give us a little bit more use and versatility out of the Flute Summoning Dragon. Lejin, who is arguably the best beater in the game right now. I think Mechanical Chaser might be out at this point, but neither Yugi or Kaiba played them, so kind of got lucky there. Because I believe Yugi, his best is Neo, the Magical Swordsman. So we are in the clear as far as attack beaters go. As well as Battle Ox, too. So we got 2 of him in there. Didn't want to load up too much on that. 3 Thunder Dragon. Card Kaiba's been known to play. Very nice for discard fodder. We're actually playing Polymerization with Twin-Headed Thunder Dragon. So we can kind of get a 2800 attack right out from the hand if we just discard 1 and add 2. Witch of the Black Forest. Another one Kaiba did have in his Battle City tournament. So that kind of helped out a little bit. You can search out your Lord of D, Cyberjar if need be, Giant Germ, so not too bad in terms of versatility with that. Cyberjar, very good. Help kind of clear out the field a little bit. We're running Monster Reborn as well too, so even if we have something like Blue Eyes that's destroyed, we can still bring it back with the classic Recruiter Monster Reborn. 3 Giant Germ, good for burn, another good Recruiter as well. 2 Wall of Illusion, bounce those monsters back to Yugi's hand. Sagi, Dark Clown, we just couldn't play this deck without him, unfortunately. Our 2 Flute Summoning Dragon, Delinquent Duo, another Kaiba card. It was in his Legendary Collection, so kind of got away with it in that regard. 2 Poly, Monster Reborn, your staple Change of Heart, another one that Kaiba had. I believe it was in his starter deck. Premature Burial, Dark Hole, Pot of Greed, just kind of your staples. Dark Energy, this is the, I don't know, it's like Dark Negative Neurons. He equipped it to Sagi in his first duel, but that's what that card was. Soul Exchange, Nobleman of Crossout to round out our spell cards. Call the Haunted, Trap Hole, Ultimate Offering to help kind of get monsters on the field to tribute 4 Blue Eyes, and of course Mirror Force. So a little bit lower on the traps. I mean, this deck is clearly just aggro, beat down, high attack, burn, ground your opponent's face into the ground sort of deal here. Especially with our 3 Twin-Headed Thunder Dragon. I do have 3 Rabbit Horsemen as well. We got Battle Ox in the main deck, 3 Mystic Horsemen in the side. So, we could side into that if need be. If we do see Polymerization as much as we want. Stop Defense. I know Yugi's deck has a lot of defense monsters. Giant Soldier of Stone, Mystical Elf. So high defense, very annoying. So we got that in there in case we do run into that problem. Aquamador is one that Kaiba had in terms of high defense. So if need be, side into that just to get, Blue Eyes out a little bit more. Besides him, Thunder Dragon is the only other tribute monster, but I can't really see us tributing anything to bring him out. Our 3 Mystic Horsemen, Trap Master, just in case. I mean, Yugi has a lot of trap cards, so we'll see if we actually end up playing that. And then 3 Dispel. I mean, I know Yugi has Swords of Revealing Light, and yeah, that is a very annoying card, so we can kind of get rid of that a little bit quicker if we end up siding that in to games 2 and 3, if we go that far. Because with a deck like this, we could end up beating down little Yugi boy a lot quicker than he anticipated. So that's all that I have for this deck, and we will go in and we will make Kaiba proud.
Alright guys, welcome back to Legendary Duelist Showdown, the very first duel. Me running Yami Yugi, aka Tam, RPK Gaming using Kaiba. Who will win? Just the poor boy whose grandpa owns a card shop, or a man with so much money he literally throws it at me?
It's true. It's very true.
He's literally right here in my room throwing money at my face. You can't see it because my camera isn't on, but he literally is throwing money at my face.
Screw the rules, man. I have money. and it's gonna really come to fruition in this duel.
All right, we are starting. Rock, paper, scissors decides all. Honestly, I have to say, with the people would have already seen the deck profiles by now, but just to say, there's actually weird little combo lines here. Oh, okay. Paper gang. Yeah, paper gang.
You see, I have to choose rock because it's just so aggro, and that's what this whole Kaiba deck is, realistically.
That is very true. I will actually go first.
Oh boy, here we go.
So I should have put Master Rule 1 because then I would have been able to draw. I did not think about it. It's all right.
Oh boy.
Well, you know what? Heavy Storm is in the format, technically.
Yes, it is.
So I will pass. Yeah, so everyone, as you saw with the profiles, I only am using cards that was in the Yugi Star deck or Yami Yugi / Atem played, not regular little Yugi. So that removed some of the other cards.
Here we go, a little meta-defining card here.
Okay, that is fine. I will.
Oh boy, that's yeah, quite the things to get rid of. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, my biggest concern is not opening up a monster. Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately we have to start off a little defensive here, but
Nope.
I think by the end of this it will
Saying and going.
ooh.
That hurt. Okay. Sengan,
Yeah.
stand there and look pretty. Honestly, I was amazed Yugi actually used Sengan, but he did.
Yeah. Yeah, when you start looking back at everything, it's kind of weird to see what people played in the anime.
It very is. Okay, Sengan will get in this time, I believe.
I'm afraid I got some bad news, and he returns to your hand.
That is not good. That's fine. That's fine. I can summon Sengan next turn.
Let's see. How do I want to play this?
You don't want to summon Blue Eyes. You don't want to get that out of the way early. Oh, Lord of D. Yeah, no. Whoa, activate. There we go. For some reason, it wouldn't let me click it. Yeah, no. We're not having that. Not what you want to see. Not what you want to see. That is not good. That is not good at all.
Unfortunately, it's just one. But
you still met the condition, so you've summoned Blue Eyes. So technically now, you could technically side them out and not use them. Although that's not very Kaiba-like.
I mean, it would just be an aggro beatdown then.
That is very true. Okay, so...
Oh, let's see, because I know Yugi definitely had Mirror Force.
Okay, this will be fine.
Oh, Morphine Jar. Oh, man, there goes my Soul Exchange.
That's interesting. Okay, I will take that. You know what? Yes. No, actually, no. Yeah, I'll just take it. No reason to waste that this early.
And then I think that would probably... That should probably do me
Another
for now.
card Yuki actually ends up using.
All right, guy.
MST.
Fine.
Funny enough, he actually uses it. All right, so next, your Blue Eyes can't be targeted, but I will take out your Lord of D.
Yeah, at least I get to protect myself a little bit here.
Yep. But I can't battle, so.
Yeah.
Real question is can you out the Summon Skull? That's
well, I have
guy.
a Blue Eyes, so...
That is true.
Let's see. Maybe I'll... Yeah, why not? Shift her to attack. Go in, hopefully. Oof.
Yeah. One of Yugi's ace cards, Spellbinding Circle, actually come in clutch.
Man, I wish Lord of D was not in the graveyard.
Thankfully, Monster Reborn is gone, so I do have a chance. So,
Man.
I will set a card, go to battle, and I think that Login is along for the world.
Yeah, it's probably the appropriate move there.
So, What's actually interesting is this very much feels like a Yugi versus Kaiba. There's a big stare down of monsters, and it's just spell and traps on Yugi's side deciding victory. While Kaiba, it's the big monsters, you know? It actually feels like a pretty fair match. So
you should definitely attack that face down, though.
That is definitely an interesting concept. Let's do this.
Oh, boy. It's not good.
And I will take Soul Exchange.
Oh, jeez.
Now, I am planning to attack, but first, I'm going to activate Last Will.
Yeah, it's a classic card.
Just in case it is a Cyberjar. Oh. I overread that one. Okay.
I mean, I wish.
I honestly just wasted a Last Will. I honestly was thinking it was Cyberjar, and so I was expecting everything to go to the grave.
Yeah, I wish it was.
Oh, come on. You want to switch one of your monsters to attack?
I wish Wall of Illusion went both ways, that if I attacked...
I think it would be way too overpowered. So Magician of Fate, go back to defense. And let's attack your face down.
Oof.
That is Cyberjar. Okay. Last Will, Maneater, Fissure, Pot of Greed, yo! And Last Will. Now I'll set my Maneater bug face down. Oh.
Beautiful. Oh, God.
I think you should Dark Hole immediately on your turn. Okay, so I'm still in the battle phase. You still get your Rich.
Yeah, what do I want to get? I guess probably Lord of D.
So, I have to go to main phase 2. I will Last Will. And a Wall of Illusion. And I don't know what this card does. So what does Pot of Greed do? I guess it just adds 2, I guess.
Yeah, but what's the cost?
I don't know. And do I get to choose, or are they just randomly added? It's such a magical effect. Let's keep you off of one last beater. All right. So, gonna Dark Hole? That's the big question.
Considering it.
It would be a 2-for-1. Well, it's a 2-for-2 technically, because Dark Hole would go.
Yeah.
Okay, there goes Wall of Illusion Maniac. The one thing I have to be careful with is I can burn through cards in my deck very quickly.
Yeah, makes sense. All right.
Ooh, this is deadly.
It's not going to be as spicy as you think, unfortunately.
Oh, what else? It's going to be other than Blue Eyes. Oh. Oh. That is not as spicy. I do have to think about my life points, because that brings me really low.
I mean, 2 of them attacking is 3,000 at least, so...
Yeah, I think I'll just take it and hope I can somehow, some way make it up.
Discard Thunder Dragon.
Oh. Gonna polymerization.
I wish that would have ended the game. Oh, fuck you.
You have to remember. Oh.
That would have ended the game if I played...
you get a Dark Hole. I get a Dark Hole.
Oh, jeez.
So next, I'll lead in with my only actual monster that has any decent attack that's not a tribute summon, Neo.
Solid.
And I will pass my turn. God, can I make a comeback with 1550? 1550 is such an odd number to have because there's actual cards that would kill me and other cards that wouldn't.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay, we're going to go to...
This is my kind of strategy now.
Let's just go in. Oh, beautiful. Giant Germ. That is a problem.
There we go.
Okay. Set a card, and it's your turn. This is not good. You can bring me down, technically, to 50 life points. That is a concerning fact. It would also help that I have 3 of these.
Oh my, why? Every time.
So
All right, well.
Okay. Take
There
it.
we go.
Take it.
This is totally a kind of strategy, right?
It actually kind of is. It is. Win at any cost. Except I have a Yugi card.
Oh, come on.
My little fuzzball says no.
So close. So close. Oh, man.
So, flip up Magician of Fate. Get Dark Hole. I will Dark Hole.
Oh, geez.
And Last Will. Getting Wall of Illusion.
Admirable. Admirable.
Set a card face down your turn. I have 50 life points. I cannot risk anything. At all. Man.
Yeah.
I'm down to 12 cards. This is not good.
Yeah, I'm down to 10. I still haven't even seen my pot of greed. Oh, frick you.
Come on, Dark Magician, off the top, please. And as Yugi would, I tribute to summon Dark Magician. Okay, sing and whatever. Give me Magician of Fate. That's cool.
Jeez.
And unless you have some sort of Kuribo of your own,
unfortunately, Kaiba does not have that.
Dark Magician wins the first one.
Wow, talk about some...
That is very Yugi-esque.
God.
At 50 life points, too. Actually, I have to wonder here. Now, do you want to side deck or just want to go for it?
Oh, I'm side decking.
Okay. Because I summoned Dark Magician, I actually do have a strategy that changes things up. So, that was actually pretty awesome. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a good one. It was a good one.
Okay, and what else did I want to take out?
Yeah, I'd say that's about good.
Okay, so we both summoned our ace monster that we needed in the first duel, so technically we don't need either of them anymore. So I'm good with my deck, side decking. How many life points did Yuki have left in his first duel with Kaiba is the question. Because I think it was actually 50.
That I couldn't tell you.
Neither could I off the top of my head.
Life points were so weird then.
That is true. Wow. You know, let's just... I fear no heavy storm. If you heavy storm me, I'm going to be very sad.
Well, first things first, why don't we go ahead and
okay.
thin my deck a little bit.
That is pretty good. Although we also are in a way where there's a lot of stalemates that could end up mattering.
That's true.
Oh, pot of greed. Yeah. Magically add to somehow.
Yeah. Somehow that worked out.
Wait, why aren't you banishing anything or discarding anything? Isn't that how Card Effect works?
Aren't I supposed to banish my extra deck?
I think, or banish 10 off the top of your deck, right?
All right, and I think that's where we will rest our head. Oh shit, I got a discard.
Yeah, you have more than 6. I keep hearing a beeping sound. I don't know what it is on my end. That is annoying. Hopefully it's not being recorded. All right.
I can't hear anything, so I think you're
interesting.
Good.
Oh, yeah, no, probably not, but I hear in my headphones. So we're going to Cyberjar.
Well, there goes my Wall of Illusion.
That is interesting. Yeah, thank you for all these monsters. This is the most... Oh, man, I am really going in on this strategy, and I don't know if I like it. Wait, hold on. So we'll Last Will. We'll get Wall of Illusion. We will Tribute Wall of Illusion for Summon Skull.
Not bad, not bad.
I will set to go to battle.
Oof. Yeah, that's gonna hurt a little bit.
See, I'm a little bit more aggressive this time, funny enough. Last time you were the aggressor. This time it's like I'm on the contact. And one heavy storm ends my career.
Let's see.
Yeah, you have to be wary about discarding.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Interesting. Okay. Ooh, polymerization. Okay.
Do that. Rid of those two.
Going to Thunder Dragon. Nice. Very nice.
Let's see.
I wish I had a bottomless, but that's not how it works. And you still haven't normaled, so...
I know, I'm really considering what I want to do here.
Yeah, tough thing is you never want to... Like, with how many removal cards are in this... Funny enough, I don't think Yugi used Raigeki. I don't even think anyone really used Raigeki in the anime.
Still play that. That should flip it, right?
Oh. Okay.
There we go.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it is quite a bit. So let's see. Lose a little more life points.
Oh, that's fine. I know where you're going to... Oh, really?
It doesn't even let me select, just does it randomly. So.
Oh, yeah, that's not... that's confiscation that I'm thinking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, now I bet you don't know what I have in my hand. It's a mystery.
It's true. It really is.
I think this beeping is something saying it's connected and disconnected. That is annoying. So...
On this morphine jar. Okay, it's moderately annoying here. And then I guess that will be it.
So they do that. So now I am going to blind hit Mirror Force.
You sure you want to hit that one?
Oh, interesting. So let's blind hit.
All right, guy.
Oh, there we go.
Off here.
That's actually not bad. So we'll set a card, change this guy to defense mode, and let's see what's this. Not Saboteur, not Saboteur, not Saboteur, not... Yep.
Every time.
Every time it is. And of course, as you can see, all my monsters... Hey, yo. Saying I'm going to defense mode. I think I made the right choice there. Those are some big cards.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. So main phase 2. Stop the battle traps. And, is there anything else I want to do here? No. So you have wall, 2 unknown face downs, and a La Jin. And 6 cards in hand. Well, I have 6 cards in hand. You do have a 1 card advantage on me, though. Currently. That is...
Yeah, it's...
That is a tough situation.
I want to do this. Yeah, I guess so.
Oh. That is interesting.
So I'm protected with that, at least. Oh, boy. Do that. Geez, I am in a conundrum.
The question is can you OTK me?
That's maybe what I'm trying to figure out here.
Because, I mean, you have, what, 3 with my Sangan, because you can change position, all that, 4. You already have 4,000 on board. 5,000 with Wall of Illusion, so only could get out of Blue Eyes. That'd be 8.
No, I can't change Sangan.
Oh, you can't?
Nope.
Oh, interesting. I thought you could with Change of Heart. I thought it was Brain Control you couldn't do stuff with.
Yeah, it's weird.
Maybe it's because of Master Rule. I knew I should have put Master Rule on. Because we can't draw going first. All that fun
that
stuff.
was a little annoying what you did there. So let's see. What do I want to do here?
I had to keep you off lethal.
It's true. It's very true.
I mean, going to a game 3 wouldn't be the worst thing, but...
I suppose I will just play that. Would have been nice to have 2 right there, that's for sure.
That would have been instant death, yes. Unless I have a Krebo in hand, which could always foil plans.
It's true. Man.
So I'm down to 2,000. And I will get...
Get your boy back.
The question is, can I do anything with him? That is very interesting, and I don't think I can. Oh, am I dead?
Oh boy.
You know what? I want to take the risk here. Let's see if you have anything. Trap hole.
Yep.
Okay.
I have that.
So,
oof.
it's not as good as it would appear initially. Fortunately, I think this is the only way I can survive.
Yeah, seems that way.
Because it's the only card I think that just doesn't target. Except Mirror Force, but I think that would have already been activated. So, no. No fun for anybody.
Yeah, apparently not.
I still think I'm going to survive, but not by much.
Yeah.
Because Blue Eyes can hit wall, bounce back, Blue Eyes. You know what my face down is.
Right.
Oh, funny enough, there is an interesting interaction here.
Of course.
Hey, I can add them. No problem. Oh, interesting.
It's true. It's true.
That is very interesting. Here's another card that doesn't target.
Well, that didn't help.
Okay, so I'm at 2,000, so I think I still have to be somewhat careful. So I will set... Oh, no, I have Krebo. I could have been aggressive. Ah. I sometimes am a little too timid, I think. Interesting.
Oh.
So let's grab Magician. Giant Germ.
Alrighty.
Interesting. I will take the 1,000.
All right.
It's a set one. Could be anything. Could be literally anything.
Literally anything.
The real question is, what will happen?
Alrighty. Well, was not expecting that.
No. Wall Illusion is something you never truly suspect.
Yeah, I kind of thought it would have been Magician of Faith, but I guess not.
Okay, I'll set a card again. Could literally be anything. With 7 cards in hand, could be anything.
Yeah.
Although, this time, I think you're going to hit the Magician.
There we go.
And actually, I'm going to grab an MST. Who knows what I'm going to destroy with that, though.
Your guess is as good as mine at this point.
Actually, this could be interesting.
It won't be.
I activate Swords of Revealing Light. Interesting. All right. So you could hard summon Blue Eyes. Oh, wait, no. If you had a Blue Eyes, but you're probably only playing the one. One on Swords. Oh, here it comes, that magical card that just adds cards for no reason.
Oh, man.
Still don't know. Where's the banishment effect? Okay.
What's the cost?
Exactly. It confuses me. So we'll do this. Interesting.
Save yourself there.
We'll do this. And your turn.
Great.
At least I know 2 of your germs are down. So that is a good sign.
Let's see.
And Sword is protected.
What we got going here?
I think it really is. Yugi has so much.
He's got more control than what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
He's just got control and like good defense.
All right. So we'll put this to attack. We'll normal summon Neo, the magical swordman, and we'll use Change of Heart to take your face down.
Oof, that's probably game.
So Neo. And then for the victory, Man-Eater Bug.
There we go.
That actually was intense. Each time my life points were very low. I think it very much was a Yugi versus Kaiba duel.
I had just drawn Monster Reborn too.
I have MST, I have Soul Exchange, Kribo, and Last Will in hand. That was an interesting set of duels, in all honesty.
Yeah, that was about as Yugi versus Kaiba as you can get.
It very much was that.
See, the really annoying thing is Wall of Illusion having that 50 extra defense. So it's like, okay, can't really handle this like I want to.
Yeah, a Wall of Illusion is definitely a power card. Definitely. Just because you can't just knock over it with any of the current monsters in the lineup. Like
right.
Mystical Elf, let's see who else. You none of the like Luster Dragon that actually Kaiba does play, and stuff like that actually are in rotation yet. So funny enough. But honestly, I can't believe how close that was. I mean, when you look at the decks, Yugi definitely has a lot more, I think, utility when it comes to spells and traps. He also has, as I messaged you, the power of friendship. And Magician of Faith and a lot of cards like that actually come from his friends and other people loaning him cards throughout the series. And also, yeah. I also realized how big of an impact Battle City actually has. Because Battle City gave everybody access to staples. Everyone was running Mirror Force. Everybody was running Spell and Trap Destruction, you know, in
100%.
various forms. And not to mention with cards being traded with wins, losses, and all that. It also allowed for stuff. Not to mention, I realized Yugi also has this weird ability that because he uses cards like Exchange, that he actually is able to take cards from his opponent and use them.
Yep, yeah. I mean, that was how he got Slifer to his hand, I'm pretty sure, in his duel against Kaiba.
Yeah. So
in Battle City.
Yeah, I mean, it's just Yugi has such utility. I think some of the other duelists do not. And I think it creates, especially in 2002, when you look at overall, Kaiba has all the strong beaters. That's kind of how his style was anyways.
Yeah, it's just a very aggressive beatdown, which isn't really the best when you're going against these high defense and
I also
all these spell and traps.
I think it also comes down to the fact that Yugi's starter deck gave him access to strong cards he didn't have in the anime. Last Will, Man-Eater Bug, and stuff like that. Well, Illusion. But it also comes to him using cards, even one-off. MST, Sengan, Magician of Faith was given to him by Taya. And I didn't go as far as it, but there are cards that are shown in deck selections. Like, I actually noticed in one of the screens when he was looking at... you remember when they faced the Big Five in the virtual realm?
Yep.
He actually... You see him dragging cards, and you see him actually click on, like, a Witch of the Black Forest, but you never actually see him play it. So I didn't include stuff like that, but it's just like... because you see him building his deck, which is the only Duelist you ever see do in the show. The finals, you see him pull the stuff out of the sarcophagus case and build his deck. You see him picking cards with his virtual stuff. You actually see him selecting. All the rest you see do it kind of off screen, except maybe Joey going, oh, Jinzo, I need that. Oh, Red Eyes, I need, other than their staple cards. Yugi's the only one you see grab multiple cards out of the virtual realm.
Right, yeah.
Also, and I didn't include these either, he uses a lot of cards. Like when Yugi and Yami deal with his Shadow Realm or the other stuff that are in the mystical realms, he ends up using cards that he doesn't use in his deck, but uses to get past obstacles. I didn't include Heavy Storm, but what's funny is he actually does use Heavy Storm. Little Yugi does. To clear the traps and stuff when he's in the Pharaoh's mind.
Yeah.
You see him draw and use Heavy Storm, but that was Little Yugi, so I didn't include it in the attempt deck. But it's one of those things where I didn't think about how much layers there could be to...
Yeah, no, there's definitely a lot more into it than what we gave credit to when we were kids watching it.
Very, very much so. And something like this, which I think is trying to encompass what the characters would play and how they would play in the era that we land on. 2002, I think when you think early 2002, you just think Kaiba Yugi started at Go At It, which is a fair enough matchup. Right. Although most of the time the Yugi deck does come out just because there is so many spell and traps in his lineup. And he also has one-off little tricks. And funny enough, he was the original hand trick expert using Kuribo. I mean, Kuribo is the OG hand trap. And as you saw, it actually did save me.
Yeah.
Top decking Dark Magician.
Stupid little fluff ball.
Yeah, I know. Look like Jaden's hair. What are you doing? Get out of here.
Exactly.
And it just, I don't know. I usually don't have Simo-esque top deck Dark Magician win the dual powers, but I find it interesting that we were both able to summon Dark Magician and Blue Eyes. You were able to summon Blue Eyes multiple times.
Yeah, I really try to focus on that, and even adding like Komori Dragon. It's like, well, if I don't have Blue Eyes, I can at least play flute and, get something out of this instead of just having like little 2-card combos of, okay, well, flute and Blue Eyes. Well, should probably get a little bit more in there so I can be a little more versatile.
Yeah, and if this was even, I think 2004, you would have access to Luster Dragon, actual Dragon Text. But I mean, at the same time, Yugi would have had access to Gemini Elf and Dark Magician Girl and a lot of the Pharaonic Servant broken-esque magician support that came with that. So there's always trade. But I find it funny how the tins, why useful for us because they gave access to people to all these cool versions of cards. Rarity bump to Summon Skull, Beast Skull Dragon, which was in the side deck, extra deck, but never used. The McDonald's thing, I looked at it. Other than Millennium Shield, none of those cards are used. And Millennium Shield would only be used in Grandpa Moto's deck. Other than that, the tins wouldn't really affect anything because we have access to all those cards anyways. But the McDonald's things and the tournament packs actually came in big. I think Morphing Jar affected the duel. Cyber Jar was another big one. But it was interesting to see how many How many starter deck cards actually stuck throughout the years?
Yeah, and I mean, compared to decks nowadays, it's like that starter versus structure, thing where, yeah, starter decks, they kind of gave you a lot of the, like, key cards that you need as, like, a kid going through, but, like, those structure decks that they have out now, it's actual staples that really, help evolve the game.
Yeah, I know. I have to say, it's amazing how starter decks aren't being done anymore, really. So structure decks are the only way to get a deck format other than the one-offs, like the God decks. They didn't call them structure decks; they were just God decks. Or there's like the legendary collection deck stuff that they haven't made a new one yet, but I think a lot of people are wanting another Dual Devastator or another legendary deck type thing. So they probably will get back to that at some point.
Well, now it seems lately with the decks that they're coming out with, those are like mini Dual Devastators. I mean, the Albaz deck, you got stuff like Ghost Ogre in there and Pot of Extravagance, and I know there's a lot more in there as well too. But it's like, yeah, you're getting stuff that you're pining for years because there's no like budget version of it.
Yeah,
And yeah, they just toss them into like structure decks now. And if we do get everything that's in the Rainbow Beast one, we'll get like Ash Blossom, which is going to be a huge reprint. I think Ghost Bell's in that as well. Yeah. In the Albaz, you got like Scythe, you got Starliege Safer, Ghost Ogre, Effect Veiler, Brotar, like a lot of cards that needed reprints. Chaos Dragon Levianeer, like,
I mean, and
it's kind of crazy.
That's not even talking about the actual cards that are Rebellion, Mirror Jade, Mercurial, just very powerful cards that, when combined with Despia, is. I'm one of those guys that when it comes to Mercurial, I won 3 in my branded Despia deck, just because I like having that utility. It's so useful against especially the mirror.
Yeah, I messed around with that with the Lure of Darkness because I know that's a really solid combo.
Yeah, I mean that structure deck. I mean, outside of floodgates or very powerful cards that absolutely just dominate formats. It's interesting that with current cards things are so different. Like going back to 2002 and looking at the duel we just had. Traps were king. I mean, I think my spells were useful, but I was using most of the MSTs and stuff as pseudo traps anyways by setting them first. I very rarely used them directly from my hand.
Right.
And I think that Kribo, a hand trap, and the traps, it's so interesting that traps, other than Eldritch and a few cards or decks that can stall and stuff, traps are so bygone era feeling. When back in the day, they were everything. You had to worry about a Mirror Force, a Torrential,
Well, because I think more so nowadays, trap cards, unless they're for like an archetype, like say Altergeist or Eldritch, they're too slow. I mean, people play Imperm or Evenly Matched because you can play them from the hand.
Yeah.
That's why I see them so universally played.
The only traps that have really been played outside of the hand trappable ones are one-offs that are searchable, like Blackout for Sword Soul, what was it, Tri-Brigade Revolt, Branded Banishment, the new trap that just came out with the branded stuff, Branded Banishment. It's like, unless they're searchable one-offs that you bring in with effect to your hand to set as an extra, response and utility, it's like traps are so unused. But in this duel, I think Yugi won just because of his trap lineup. Spellbinding, trap holes, the MST.
Saved a lot there.
Yeah, I mean, and spellbinding, something that I have, funny enough, I have 2 in the side. I didn't bring them in. I have 1. And we also drew a ton of cards. I mean, we had Cyberjaw pop off. We had Morphing Jar pop off. We had Pot of Greed pop off each time.
Yep.
We had deck thinning in the form of, you had the Thunder Dragons. I had them in the form Last Will.
Yep.
Which Last Will is just bonkers, by the way.
Yeah. I remember in my Battles of Legends series, Misuse was playing that with his Yugi deck.
Yeah, could you imagine if it was today? Oh, I'll link off to a link one. Get another?
Right, it's just a free link.
Exactly. It just, my God, the extent with that. But yeah, I think that's the reason. Because then I was able to bring out Wall of Illusion, and it was just that recurability of the spell trap lineup. Your big monsters were scary, but I think you take out. I think that's another reason Kaiba changed moving forward. In the anime, you see him use Ring of Destruction, Heavy Storm. What is that? The Ring of Protection, Ring of Negation,
the Ring of Defense.
Ring of Defense. There we go. He starts using things because I think he changed as a duelist because. He before was big monster go boom, or Simo ports it with Berserkerella, Ugu Gagak smash. And when Yuki was using spell traps, he was like, oh, I can't beat people just, with just this, I have to change. And, eventually in Battle City, he gets some of the best spell traps you see. Ring of Destruction, Heavy Storm. I think he uses Call. He uses.
There's a couple using Lullaby of Obedience too, which is a good one if you know what's in your opponent's deck.
Very much so, yeah. And in a format like this, where you can assume what the opponent would play, because no matter what, I had to think what you were going to play. And when you look at Kaiba, you think he has access to all these powerful things, but his biggest weakness is. There's only so much utility. The staples, Monster Reborn, that stuff, Mirror Force. He only uses those, and they're at 1. If the ban list was even a set or 2 earlier, where there was even a ban list, technically. We have to call it a limited, semi-limited list, because there was no bans. You go back and you look. I think you go back 2 sets where there's no ban list. Yeah, I would have had swords at 3, but I think also you would have had a clear, better advantage, because outside of my trap holes and stuff, I think I still would have had some of the combo pieces. You go 2 sets past. If I don't have MST, that was a big changer too.
Right. Yeah.
That
popping off a lot of my premature burials of Call of the Haunted was super annoying.
Well, also the hits when you had 4 face down, guessing both Call and Mirror Force.
Right.
There's just some luck, but it's also mentality. You think when you're setting cards, you think, oh, I have to set my good cards first. If you actually watch, when I set stuff usually in this off-on pattern. The first card I usually set isn't a good card. Then the second card is the one I actually want to keep, and then off and on. Especially with multi-use decks, because when you set those 2 first, I was like, okay, those have to be the cards I target. The other 2 have to be good, but they're not as good as, hey, I want to get these out of my hand, so they're safe.
Right.
I also think when it comes down to it, searchability. The fact you pulled off the Thunder Dragons, though, actually got the polymerization to form twin-headed Thunder Dragon, was actually pretty cool, though.
Yeah, that's because I play a lot of GOAT format too, so that's also something that I do in that a lot with Fusion Gate instead of polymerization. But
yeah, I run Thunder Dragons in mine too, but that's just to dump them to get lights.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Honestly, when it came down to it, it was fun. It was tight. I actually was getting nervous in the first duel, especially seeing you at 2400. I just kept thinking, I switch anything to attack, I think I could lose. I had to be careful. And my only thought was, your one back row, I didn't know. Because I think in the first duel, I never saw Mirror Force. And I think you set Poly in the back. And I was so afraid you had Mirror Force. I was like, I need to get Magician of Faith, get MST to pop that. And then I had to hope to draw something to be able to actually get over your cards. And when I got Dark Magician, I was able to just clear the board and get him out. I was so thankful. That was a very Yugi-esque moment. Because I actually was thinking of trying to stall until I saw Dark Magician just because of how late in game it was.
Yeah, I wish I had one more giant germ.
Yeah, because honestly, I was scared that if I ended that first duel and I didn't see Dark Magician, you may forego the blue eye strategy and just go for something more aggressive. And if I don't
Yeah.
open the right spell traps, I could be outdone very quickly. Because I don't have that monster. Neo's my biggest monster, other than Summon Skull.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so it was definitely one of those things where I very quickly was hoping that Dark Magician had to be, with 10 cards left, it was going to be a 1 in 10 chance. But I had to hope Dark Magician was there because I was afraid if I won that duel and I go in the second duel, I have to chase you with the fact that I need to summon Dark Magician and you could do whatever you wanted. I mean...
Yeah, it got a little tight there.
It very much did.
In terms of deck, like, for both of us. I think you got down to, like, 7 cards at one point.
Yeah, it was pretty low. And it's just because Cyber and Morphing Jar is in rotation for us.
Yep.
Because both duelists ends up using them. And you have Thunder Dragon. I'm digging really deep with Last Will. We both have Pot of Greed.
And you have Magician of Faith to recycle Pot of Greed if need be.
Yeah, that is very true. I mean, it was very much a... I was afraid with Last Will that I could have number advantage, but I was very afraid that if I number advantage and you were able to somehow clear my board, I wouldn't have a way back truly into it because I can't beat over stuff.
Right, yeah.
I mean, if you had Blue Eyes and I couldn't get rid of it, unless I get Wall of Illusion or Fissure, Dark Hole, etc., unless I get one of the outs, if I'm just drawing Magician of Fate, Neo, Summon Skull, I have outs, but it's just like there's always that possibility I brick.
Yeah, unfortunately. Especially with this format.
Very much so. I also would wonder how different that duel would be because both times I went first, I think, and both times I didn't have a draw.
Yeah.
So... that's a lesson. I need to make sure I put the right master rule because I missed drawing first. I was very nervous each time as I was like, I don't have a bonus card.
Yeah, that's why that second time I was like, yep, totally going to go second here.
Yeah, that card is just absolutely worth it. I mean, at the end of the day, I think that card... at the end, it didn't matter. I did end up going 2-0, but they were tight. They were very, very much Yuki Kaiba. I feel like you could have taken those duels, animate them, and they'd be good duels to watch in like a show sequence.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I 100% agree.
I mean, the fact is you were able to see Blue Eyes. I was able to stall them. You were able to fusion summon some big fusion monster. I top decked Dark Magician. The fact I was able to keep pulling off cards to just save me just enough and have that like DM main character luck in MSTing the right cards, drawing Dark Magician. It very much was, I think, a very fair duel. And both of us, I mean, you got me down to 50 the first duel. And the second duel, I think I was down to, 1,000?
Yeah, it was very tight.
I mean, I think it was as tight as could be. I actually am worried that other episodes may not live up to how tight and how good this one actually represented the characters. But I think...
you never know, you might get a Yugi Kaiba for, like, April. Which would be even tougher.
That would be very much tougher, yeah. And it could always be the opposite. It could always be like up until the GX sets where Kaiba has access to XYZ and Dragon Cannon and other utility that he gets later on in the show because he gets some powerful cards. I mean, Force Raider, he has access to Luster Dragon. Luster Dragon, even though it's 2400, he gets access to Luster Dragon number 2 as well.
Yep.
XYZ, he gets the Ring of Destruction, Ring of Defense, stuff like that, which could come in handy. I mean, that's tough. But honestly, this first episode was, I think, absolutely amazing. And I know I've been recording this whole conversation, so we've probably been babbling on for a good period of time. But
Oh no, I greatly appreciate it. And it was a lot of fun making a nice 2002 deck for good old Seto Kaiba.
yeah, it was. I had a blast. I mean, I was always more of a Yugi kid. So if you remember with the Sparkman tournament, me and Yadagrom did Yugi versus Kaiba. He was Kaiba starter. I was Yugi starter. And so I don't think I've lost any Yugi v Kaiba matches throughout my YouTube career. So I will take that. I will take 2-0 on another Yugi v Kaiba matchup.
Well, hey, I hope I lived up to everybody's hype as Kaiba, and I hope I get to come back on down the line, do this all again, because it was definitely fun.
Definitely, definitely. Although people may be like, oh no, we need Kaiba to win. And they'll see you and be like, you're doing Kaiba again. It's like, wait, hold on. Lock you into that Kaiba role.
Yeah, I'll just be the antagonist. It's all right.
You'll eventually just start wearing the cloak in real life, walking around with a suitcase full of cards.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with that.
live the life, live the dream. But honestly, this was amazing. Thank you for coming on. I couldn't think of a better way to actually start out this series with Takahashi's passing, unfortunately, and having Yugi v Kaiba in an original format of how Duel Monsters, which originally was supposed to be kind of played, and really feeling like it could be an anime level duel. Like, I feel like that was just the perfect way to start this series, and I couldn't imagine it going any other way, to be honest.
Absolutely.
I mean, but I do think I have to cut the rambling here. So, guys, everyone who's watching this, remember, top like comment, you could be selected as the viewer showdown comment that decides what we do next episode. It was selected this episode. As you saw, Yugi versus Kaiba. Remember, top like comment does get that. And at the end of the guys, drop a like. Remember, links in description below for RPK Gaming. Check them out. And not to keep wasting your time, guys. Till next time, tag out.
Told